Hi, I'm Lori Ballou, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I'm interviewing my client Donna today, who's been with me since January and has had some amazing transformation that she's going to tell you about. So, first of all, I just want to introduce her and let her tell you a little bit about her. And then we're going to ask questions and dive into how the holistic low carb method has really helped Donna not just lose weight because she's lost 26 pounds, but she's going to tell you about that, but actually transform her life, which is what you really want to get out of a lifestyle change, not on a diet. You want to look at aging beautifully and adventurously as a health adventure so that you can reclaim the second half of your life. And that's what Donna's done because she's just retired, although she'll tell you more about that. But she actually is having health freedom in retirement because she transformed her health to lose the weight. She got healthy to lose the weight. So we're going to talk about that today. So Donna, tell me a little bit more about yourself so that we can get into how you were in the past and how you are now as well.
Thank you, Lori. I'm already choked up because of thinking of where I was and to where I'm now. And anyway, so I am Donna, and I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My husband and I met there, and we got married young. So we've been married 40 years, and we moved to the Antelope Valley about 38 years ago. And he and I just retired. He retired from Northrop Grumman, and I retired from West Side School District. And so we met Lori, and actually I've known Lori quite a bit, but really started getting to know who she was and how she could help me back in January. And I was in a terrible place. I had so much pain in my wrists, in my hands, mostly in my ankles. And it was so hard for me to walk and to do anything that I wanted to do. I couldn't do anything because of the pain.
Yeah.
And
And do you remember what you had to how you had to start living because of that pain? What is it that you had to implement just to
my
exist?
my husband had to buy me a knee bike because my right foot was so inflamed and so painful that I couldn't, when I would get up to go to the bathroom, I'd have to ride the bike to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
And even in the middle of the night, I'd have to ride the little bike to the bathroom. And so it's not a way to live. And so I just thought this is my life. This is how it's going to be. I don't know what else to do. For what I knew, I thought I was eating healthy. I cooked all our meals, but I didn't realize that wheat was killing me and sugar. And even though I was making things homemade, it was killing me slowly.
Yeah.
And so
Remember every time you ate, what happened after you would eat your food?
oh, I would just go into a coma, like I couldn't move. I had so much brain fog. I couldn't get through a conversation like this. I couldn't remember words like conversation or knee bike, whatever it was. I couldn't remember words. And
I don't
it's
think you've ever
better.
brought that up. That's interesting, and now you've got so much brain energy.
Yes, so much more. So Lori and I started in January, and she just taught me things about what I'm eating that was my food sensitivities. And we took all the tests. Lori, tell me the tests. They were urine tests, blood tests, stool tests, hair tests, dry blood, dry urine. It was just an enormous amount of tests, but we got so much information about me and how she can individualize this program for me. And instantly things started changing. I was like, within the first month, right? I was feeling so much better. My swelling was down. I feel like I lost 8 pounds in the first month. Um, And then after that, I was losing a pound a week. Every single week, I was losing a pound. And I was so thankful just for that 1 pound. And so being able to walk. So now my husband and I, we get up in the morning, we go walking every day, and it's not painful. Then we go shopping. We'll have breakfast about 11. Then we'll continue on our day, and we'll have dinner about 3 and continue on till about 7 or 8 at night, just going and going. Couldn't do that before.
Yeah,
It
you
was,
mentioned that you can get up from, like, 4 or 5 in the morning, and you're up on your feet till 8 o'clock at
yeah,
night, living life before you
yeah.
couldn't even get out of the house.
My
That's
phone
so
tells me
amazing.
I average 11 hours on my feet a
Oh
day.
my gosh.
And so I couldn't do that before. I worked a 3-hour job and I was on my feet for maybe 3 hours, and all I could do was that. And I was crying through it. It was so painful. So here
Yeah,
we are.
between that and food, that was a huge problem that you've actually changed in your life, and how much pain percentage do you feel that you've actually corrected in your body from all of the, from the Holistic Low Carb Method process?
I would say I was about a 10 as far as 1 to 10 on a pain scale. I feel like I was a 10. I've had 3 children. I know what big pain feels like.
Yeah.
And so I'm about down to a 1 or a 2, honestly. Today I feel no pain. Um, but I have learned now that when I eat something, say we've gone out to dinner somewhere or something, and they cooking with the wrong oils, I know the next day they cooked with the wrong oil because I'm hurting today. So, and it's never the pain that I felt before. It's always about maybe a 2, 3, or 4, something like that.
It's your
It's the,
body talking to you, and that's the thing that I love to be able to educate people on is if you have any pain in your body, the food you're eating is wrong message to your body.
yeah.
And if I get any pain in my body, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "What did I eat yesterday?" So that's how you can get that. Once you've taken out the foods from your food sensitivity test and are able to actually listen to the noise in your body can now tell you, "Well, this food doesn't make us feel good, and we're gonna have pain." And so
Right.
then you can reevaluate it and take that out, and that's how you can control the carb creep too, because every now and then if carb creep comes back in, you don't feel good the next day. Like, how do you feel when you've had a couple of moments where there was that carb creeped back in? How did you
Oh,
feel when you
yeah.
were eating that?
I can totally tell. It's my body is talking to me, and I know that it's, it's like, I don't like that. So it tells me, and believe me, I went to doctors, many, many doctors. I fired one, got another one, and nobody was able to help me. Nobody looked into my blood work or urine or
Wow.
stool. Nobody looked into that. They tried to put me on metformin, which I took 1 dose and was losing it because I'm really sensitive to things. Um, and I tried chiropractic care too, just for my pain. And I did that for about a year. Went once a month for an adjustment uh, for about a year, or probably longer than the year. Nothing helped. Nothing helped that pain. And
Yeah.
so it was food. It was the wrong foods.
Yeah,
So
food is
now I'm,
information to the body for sure,
mhm,
and that and sometimes people might be worried about starting a low carb diet because you take the sugar and the wheat out, and those are the things you're used to eating and they're food addictions. But
right.
now that you've taken them out of your body, how do you feel with the idea of not living with sugar and wheat and living a more low carb lifestyle as opposed to being on a diet? How do you feel about having taken the sugar and the wheat out?
Well, it's not my diet anymore. It's my lifestyle. And honestly, I can make anything I want to eat. Whatever I want, I will make it low carb, no sugar, good sugars. Whatever I'm using, I use some what do I use? Monk fruit here and there. But honestly, sweet things, I'm not craving sweet things anymore. I will use dark chocolate, sugar-free chocolate, and whatever I want. I just gear it to my low carb, high protein, fat diet, which is perfect. I was telling Lori, I'm eating fat, I'm eating protein, I'm eating leafy greens. I have salt in my water every day. I have my bullet coffees every day. That keeps me going all morning. And I ground, I go outside and get some good sunshine in my eyes in the morning while I'm drinking my coffee. Sometimes I'll call Lori and we'll be drinking our coffee together outside in the dirt and grounding.
My feet are always dusty. I'm like, "Oh, I'm on my way to yoga. I better wash my feet because my yoga instructor doesn't like it."
Yeah. So, just getting out and getting some sunshine in my eyes. I've noticed that helps my mood so much.
Mm.
Um, it helps my memory. I didn't realize that. It's what is the hippocampus
Yeah, the more
starts.
we're outside and the more more you create that brain energy and get excited to live life as a health adventure, when you go and do new things, you invigorate the hippocampus, you grow your hippocampus in your brain. But if you don't, if you stay stuck in stress and stay in the house and don't get outside and get nature, you actually can repress and reduce your brain health and the hippocampus. And so that was something that I found really fascinating because that was something Joe Dispenza say. I was on my way, I was driving through New Mexico on my way to Guadalupe National Park, Guadalupe
Mhm.
Mountains National Park, and I was listening to Joe Dispenza, and that was coming on, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I am doing that." This is why I get so excited about getting out on a road trip and driving somewhere, and people are like, "Gosh, you can do that by yourself?" I just put on a book, I put on a podcast, I'm learning, that's my university. I stay excited, that is so exciting, and so when I got to Guadalupe National Park, the Guadalupe Mountains National Park. It's quite a mouthful. I remember just sitting in the car, doing an Instagram live, and just talking about this very moment, and, like, this is the power that we have to correct our brain health, and so we don't ever wanna look at this as being on a diet. This is a lifestyle change that actually rebuilds your health so that you can reclaim the second half of your life for that health freedom. Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're going on a trip for a month to Vermont to see the leaves change, to visit family, and you can walk now. You'll have energy. If you were to try to plan this last January, I mean, would you be even
I,
be
w-
doing that?
I would have been afraid to go. I would not have had the courage at that point. Was so afraid to leave the house. Um, Honestly, I was kind of fearful of driving, just because I didn't have my brain function that I needed. And so I have my brain function, and it gets better all the time. Like I told Lori, um, I'm not where I want to be yet, and I'm just getting started. But I work at it every day, and getting where you want to be doesn't happen overnight. You got to keep going, and that was something that I never did. I would go on a little diet and I'd lose 20 pounds, and then I wouldn't um I always plateau, and I'm right on my plateau right now, just as I always do. But then I would gain it back because the things that was eating wasn't what my body wanted. And so I'm pushing through this plateau. It's just a plateau. I'm not worried about it. I've called Lori a few times, a little worried. She's like, "Don't worry, you're good. Your body's getting used to where you want to be. Have you gained any weight back?" And I said, "No, I haven't gained any weight back." She said, "See, you're doing good." So I just know that my body will be fine because I'm not gaining any weight back. Um, I lose a few ounces here and there. And so it's always a little bit creeping down, which is good. And
Yeah,
good with
and,
that.
sometimes we can get a little bit stuck when there's a plateau and we worry about it, but basically, we gotta understand too that we are actually having cardiometabolic changes inside the body, which means that we are correcting metabolism. You've already reset your metabolism, you've reset your blood sugar dysregulation, and you reset all your pain receptors. Your body is getting healthy to lose the weight, and so the first 20 pounds is always where you're resetting that blood sugar regulation and you're resetting your metabolism. And now you're going into the next level. And so a lot of the times that's why it's good to work with a health coach because I'm there to hold you. I'm like, okay, I think you mentioned the other day you were just a little bit worried that, I always gain the weight back. So I'm just assuming it's going to come back. And I'm just reminding you that you're not on a diet and you didn't do starvation. You did actually nutrition. And so
Right.
your body is actually primed to lose weight because you're building muscle at the same time. So you're not going to boomerang and gain the weight back. But also, it's just like, sometimes when that carb creep comes in, that little motivation is a little stuck. Well, we
Mhm.
had a conversation that we were talking about being normal. And so you were like, I just want to be normal. And sometimes we can get stuck thinking, maybe it's not so bad I could eat that, that sugar, that wheat. But then how does your body feel after you do it? And you started to
Yes,
lose motivation because your
right.
brain all of a sudden started to suffer
You're
because
right.
all of a sudden you put through yourself out of ketosis and you're no longer feeling amazing. But
Right.
what was interesting about that? What do you think? Because we had this conversation about, whether or not you wanted to be normal. What did you feel about that?
Um, I was seeing other people just sitting at a restaurant eating their hamburger and everything, and I'm like, I just want to be normal. I just want to be able to eat what everybody else eats. And then so I would have a bite here and there of something, and I felt it. And I thought, and after I talked to you and you're like, okay, well, what is your normal? Your normal is, you have to listen to your body, tell you what is your body telling you? And my body was telling me this is not what you want. You want to be healthy, you want to be active, you want to be pain free, you want your brain to work. And so my normal is this program. And it's individualized to me. So um that's my normal now. I mean, I went through that little the little tantrum. I told Lori it was a little tantrum, and we got over it. She helped me get through it, and I thank her for that. She has been by my side, and every time I have a little tantrum, I text Lori, and she's there for me. She will answer my questions. She will get on the phone with me, whatever I need, and even goes for walks with me, takes me to the Huntington Gardens, and that was lovely. And just teaching moments all the time. What more can I learn from Lori? So
Yeah, and so, instead of being normal, what normal used to be, which was 95% more pain, bloating,
yes,
not
yes,
being able to get out of the house, having no energy, that was the normal you were stuck in. And so I just reminded you what normal really was. And you're just
yes,
like, well, I don't think I want that normal, but how about exceptional normal would be your new
yes,
normal
yes.
is what you really want to
He
look
says,
at.
"Don't be normal, be exceptional." So that's my new motto now: to be exceptional and not normal.
Yeah, and it's living life as a health adventure, and you're pulling that in, and it's getting that circadian balance every day and getting your body just replugged back into the earth and getting that sunlight because that is so huge to be able to do that. And that's why I marry this all together with
Yeah.
health adventures. And so with every client that's local to me, like you were, I take you out on a health adventure. And so we went to the Huntington. And when we went to the Huntington, how did you feel that day? Like, what did you learn from that? Excursion for that health adventure experience that you had?
Well, I forget how many miles we walked that day, but it was quite a bit. Was it like 8 miles? I mean,
Um,
total.
I tried to keep it to a minimum for you, but I don't sure exactly. But
And
you
but
did
we
good.
stopped and rested through the way, and it was fine. I did it. I didn't have pain. We had a nice picnic lunch that she brought for us. Um, and we had a great time. We talked about just the energy of the area and the trees and ground. We walked around on the grass barefoot, and people were looking at us, and we didn't
We did
care.
some tree
We're
hugging.
hugging trees, and and it felt wonderful. It was such a great day. Um, so yeah, it was really wonderful just to get out. And since I've been on this, I have been able to um fix so many things around my house. I painted all the structures in the backyard outside, and I have redone my gardens and threw a big retirement party for my husband. And so I could not have done any of those things at all, because it would have just freaked me out to think about having to climb up a ladder and paint. And I did it just fine. I'd spend a good part of the morning while it was cool, get up about 5:30, get out there when the sun was just starting to rise, and turn on my books and get started painting. So I have come a long way. I haven't, and it feels really good. And I don't ever want to go back to that pain, to that brain fog, to that sleepiness. My life was just sleeping, and not really, I didn't really have anything fun planned. And now we're getting ready to go on a vacation, and I'm excited. Also, my husband is at his ideal weight in the 8 months that we've been doing this, because I cook. And
It's
so
kind of a two for one when there's a husband on board.
absolutely. Um, I hate to get personal, but our intimacy is back. We were done. I thought well, that's over. I didn't figure, well, I guess it's over when you turn 60. So it had been years, and we get a new eye for each other. And so I
And then
just,
there was something that your husband mentioned a couple of months into the program when your pain was all gone and you had more energy. What was that?
best money he's ever spent.
Best investment.
Yes. Best investment. Yes. Just because almost instantly my attitude started changing. And I mean, within a month, my attitude was changing, and I was feeling so much better. And so
So cool. You've
that's,
totally
yeah,
rebuilt your life and rebuilt your health and have actually invested in 10 to 20 more years of quality life that you don't have to live. It's just stuck in the house with a
stuck in the
brain that's
house. Yeah.
shrinking. Yeah.
Now we can pursue our little woodworking business. My husband builds furniture, and
Oh, it's so
we
exciting.
can do that together, and we're excited. Yeah.
So how would you tell people, who might be kind of concerned about making a low carb diet lifestyle switch? How would you explain to them about getting started? Or there's some tips that you can give them that you learned?
I would say just, just do it for a week. Try 1 week, because literally in 1 week, you're going to feel a difference. I would say give yourself 7 days. And then after the 7 days, think, I can do this. I'm going to give myself uh, 21 days total. And then after the 21 days, keep going, keep going, keep going. And if you, I call it stub your toe when you mess up, you don't fall down on the ground and waller with a stub toe. You just stand up and you keep walking. So if you mess up, you just get right back on it. The very next meal, not the next Monday, the next meal. And it's not hard. And clean out your fridge, clean out your cabinets, get rid of all that. You don't need it. You need some good, healthy food that is medicine to your body, that's nourishing to your body, that you can have brain health and just complete body health, because it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's
I
so worth
remember
it.
on your first metabolic analysis, you had like 600 symptomology score for your metabolic analysis, which I give to every one of my clients, and then I run it again within 5 to 6 months. You had a 300 point change on that metabolic analysis. I remember being so excited, and so I'm like, "Oh my god, what a difference." And you, at
It
that point,
is.
were more aware of what was going on in your body, because when you
Yes.
first started, you still had all that brain fog, and,
Right.
it was me guiding you that kept you going forward. And then just being allowed to even just try some of the food bridges, because I've got this food bridge concept that I like to just share with my clients, because,
Mhm.
sometimes it is hard to go from the
It
standard
is.
American diet into a low carb diet. And there
Mhm.
is going to be a lot of people say that just, go cold turkey, but it depends on you and your body. If you can go cold turkey and you want to do it, that's going to be the best way to do it. But if you need a little help, I've got a keto cookie recipe. That's the bomb. And then,
Mhm.
making things with almond flour when you're feeling the
Mhm.
urge helps you actually increase your fiber, keep you on the straight and narrow, give you a little bit of reward and something to look forward to. I definitely loved keto cookies, and I used them for a long time. How did that recipe help you?
Honestly, because we always wanted to have a cookie after dinner every night. And so when I made the keto cookies and my husband was having those, he loved them and I would give them away. I would make them and give them to people as little gifts here and there because why not give away something healthy? And so I still make them. In fact, I have a big container of them right now. I always keep them on hand. I just keep them in the fridge because they're delicious cold. And that really helped me. And like Lori said, when you're feeling so when I was having that little tantrum about not wanting to I wanted to be normal like other people. I kind of got back in the kitchen and I thought, what can I do that makes me feel more normal? So I just made some almond flour buns, like that. I found some recipes and I made some almond flour things. And that kind of got me up over a hump. I had my big old hamburger with a fried egg on it and
Perfect.
lettuce and tomato, and it was exactly what I wanted. So I ate it and I felt great. And now I'm honestly over that hump. I I'm back to just.
Living the life that you've
Living the
created.
life.
You're
Yeah.
aging beautifully and adventurously, and you're on a lifestyle to have your best body and your best brain. But one of the things that was really cool that you decided to do, because I always look at this as, how can you get excited about something as and living your life as a health adventure,
Mhm.
and, designing your life around what you love to do, and you love to prepare food. And so there
Mhm.
was something that you decided that you wanted to do that was gonna help you get back in the kitchen and help you actually live a low carb lifestyle and be excited about it. What was that?
I decided to make my own cooking book for
Mhm.
myself where I take all the recipes that I have converted to low carb and just make my own cookbook. And so, yeah, I've started that and I'm probably going to share a lot of the recipes with my kids because they need it too. So I'll make copies for them, just starting that. And that helps a lot. Just think, oh, what's for breakfast? Oh, I could make some keto waffles. Let's do that. Blueberry almond flour waffles. So, and they're delicious.
So cool. And how much weight again have you lost?
Um, it fluctuates. I didn't weigh this morning, but it fluctuates between 25, 26 pounds. So, and when your clothes feel good and they're not tight, then that feels good. And I know it's going to continue to go down and I have to be patient with it, but I just have to listen to my body and not
Stay
I remember.
excited.
What were you
Stay
saying
excited.
yesterday? That's
Yeah, we were checking your ketone levels and your blood sugar levels. Your blood
Mhm.
sugars were like 85 and you're just 1 point away from being in ketosis. So I'm sure you hit it. But one of the things you were saying that I was mentioning that I love the outfit that you had on, and you said, "Oh my god, I gotta go shopping."
I do. I do. A lot of my things are even that shirt that I was wearing was just hanging on me. So I yeah, they're getting kind of big. But you had said something that you always have a rule of your, you're like what you're going to eat. I'll eat anything, but I've got my rule,
I have my food rules.
my food
Like,
rules.
one of the
Yeah.
things that I'm enjoying just during the day is just coffee, instant coffee, which is organic with a bottle of Pellegrino. It's been my summer treat. And I'm like,
Mm.
oh my God, it's just so good. But I had, 2 hamburgers for breakfast. I'm all out of eggs. My son ate my eggs. And so I haven't been to Costco to get my eggs. And I just used the rest of my little green salsa and put some Parmesan on top of that. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. So I actually cooked up 4 hamburger patties, and that's going to be lunch too. And then
Good.
that's just what I wanted to do for today. But that, basically, if you have food rules, if you make a food rule
Hmm.
and stay within the boundaries of your food rules, so like with the low carb diet, it could be a low carb diet where it's higher protein and less fat, depending on where your needs are, because that's something I always customize depending on my client's symptomology. But maybe you've got depression or bipolarism and you need a higher fat diet, because that's kind of where I've been. I
Hmm.
had depression most of my life, and I wasn't able to actually get out of that to find my brain energy until I went into a keto diet. And so then over the years, I've been doing maybe less fat because I don't need as much fat now, because in the very beginning, we need to actually change our oil, change our fat. And that could take a couple years to get it out of your body. So one of the things that causes a weight loss stall is because your body is actually changing the type of fat that you have in your body. We need to bring in more saturated fat, more animal fats, and then we can actually purge the vegetable oils from our system. And that could slow weight loss down while you're doing that. And then and it also takes like 7 years to increase half the collagen in our body. And so we need to replace all of that. And in this whole process, we're developing our muscle, developing our bone, growing our brain cells, bringing our brain back on track. And so if we're in a stall, go with the stall for a little bit. If you're not gaining weight back, that's a success.
It
Because
is
how much weight could you could have gained back? Like, I've had a
all
client
of
that
it.
had lost 60 pounds on the skinny narratives and the low calorie
Mhm.
agenda that's out there, the narrative. And of course, during COVID, a lot of the times everybody lost control. Those people who, got too stressed out or whatever.
Mhm.
And if you were on a diet where you were starving and not getting nutrition and just over exercise, and then all of a sudden you're stuck and you're sedentary, you're going to eat all the stuff.
Yeah,
But if you can keep it in a food rules and make sure that the food you eat is going to be low carb, then the weight gain doesn't necessarily come back on track. You might just be in a plateau. But unfortunately, that weight can come back. So you can look at the fact that you've lost 25 pounds, but you have not regained 25 pounds. And so you are still at 25-pound loss, and that's never going to go back up because you know what to do to keep it off. And
yeah,
that's what I love. I don't want you to work with me forever. I just want you to be able to maintain your lifestyle and
right.
create more health benefits ongoing, because you've learned the holistic low carb method and know how to apply it to your specific body based on all the results you found in your labs, which you can take again every year, to just like you take your car in once a year, you take your body in once a year, get a couple of the main labs and find out what's going on and course correct.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. I will definitely do that because I think everyone should know what's going on within their own body so that it's so worth the few $100s just to see what's going on the inside so that you can have a plan to go forward, to get back on track, to get your body healing. So absolutely, I will do that. I was going to say that I forgot now. I was interested in what you were saying, but anyway, um, I'm just excited to move forward and to uh oh, I knew what I was going to say. As far as your rules, your food rules. So when you go shopping, you always stay within your food rules, and then you don't have to think about, oh, what should I eat that I can eat? Everything in my house I can eat. I have a secret drawer for my husband that I don't go into for his little treats here and there, but they're just like nuts and things. It's not real bad. Um, and so, but everything in my house is fine. I can eat everything. So I don't have to cheat if I'm home. Now, when I go out, I have to think about, okay, what am I going to have? And is it cooked in the right oil? So, but we don't go out much. We've been, well, had it at one time a week, one meal a week. And now we're starting to just invite that couple over to our house once a week and cooking for them. So it makes it
Oh,
easier
how
and it's
amazing.
so much cheaper. It was like $100 if we would go out. And if I made it here, it's like 30, maybe, if that, so.
Then you can control the quality of your food more readily to add to your
Yes,
di
yes.
that's part of creating the lifestyle too around all the actions of aging beautifully and adventurously is to really buy good quality food, fix it in your home, and celebrate life there. And
Yeah.
yet, I like to get out to eat too, but like I was telling you the other day, it's like if I wanna go to a cafe in Santa Barbara, put my feet in the sand, and have a good cup of coffee and some bacon, I mean, that's what I love,
Yeah,
doing
and take
things
it
like
with
that.
you. Yeah,
And
your
just
little
picnics.
picnics.
I
I'd
love
love to see your
picnics.
little
Take
picnics.
take
Yeah.
chocolate chip cookies and picnic to the
Yeah.
Huntington Library and just enjoy the day. That's the best way to do it when we can get out in nature and just take our food with us and even on a road trip, I mean, you've got it all planned out to take your low carb lifestyle with you on that road trip. So
Yes.
you're all set and, you're just you're living the lifestyle of health freedom now.
Yes. I'm excited. We're gonna do great. So I'm excited to get going and see the country and feel good, not be afraid, and it's huge just to think about where I came from. It's only been 8 months. It's like
And it was the 6 months. Basically, you did all of that within 4 to 6 months.
in six
And
months. Yeah.
you've been in maintenance for 2 months, just kind of getting
Mhm.
some mindset managed.
Yeah, you're right. So absolutely. And we're gonna go forward and it's gonna be fine. So I'm not worried about it because I know what my body tells me. That's wrong. Don't eat it. So I'm like, okay, I won't eat that. It's got something in it that's not working. So
And the reason you can do that and is because you took the noise away by taking away all your food sensitivities, and then now you can bring them back and challenge your body, and your body will tell you how that makes you feel, and because that will set off an inflammatory antigen response in your body, and so it's really cool to know that
yeah,
if we listen, we can
yeah,
hear what's happening inside our body, and so that's the guiding factor there, and it's a huge
it
healing
is.
opportunity to really look at. Do you have any final takeaways that you wanna tell the audience about, living a low carb lifestyle or getting started with aging beautifully and adventurously?
I would say if you are worried about starting, honestly, just call Lori. She will make a way. Um, and she loves wholeheartedly, and she's so very concerned for every individual. Um, and she's very personable and she's just there for you.
Aw, thank you,
There's
Donna.
no other there's no other person that I have tried so many people, my doctors, my chiropractor, nobody was there for me. Nobody.
Mm, you're gonna make
And
me cry
so,
now.
well, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would just say, you know, t- have a consultation. Let her know what you're going through, and she will help you. She is full of information, and believe me, sometimes it comes all in one
I've got brain
swoop,
energy, I'm gonna
and
dump it on
and you're
you.
like, wait a minute, what did I miss? So you have notes and notes and notes and notes in and then you just kind of go back over your notes and you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's not so hard. And then she'll explain it, she'll dumb it down for you because she's using these big words, but Anyway, she's a fountain of information, and she knows how things work. So if you
Yeah,
have
thank
any,
you.
if you're on the fence, get off the fence, get on over there, because it's nothing but good. And I'm just so thankful to God that she's my little angel that came and saved my life.
You saved your own life, you're the one that did the work. So you did it, and you're still
Couldn't
doing
have
it.
done it without you. I couldn't have
Yeah.
done it. You've been
It's
there
good to
for
be a
me.
team. When there's 2 people together, it makes women stronger. It's a collaboration,
It
and I
is.
can't do it for you, but I could give you the information, empower you, because information is knowledge.
It
To
is.
empower us to make those changes, and food is information to your body. I was trying to tell one client, and she was, thinking, a lot of people think that if you fast and have just a 100-calorie snack, that it's okay because it's just 100 calories. But what's that information to your body if you have pancreatic dysfunction, if you're reacting to gluten and you have that antigen response in your gut and you are overweight and your cortisol levels are too high? These are what I see on the test. If those are happening in your body and you're adding that extra fire in there with a 100-calorie cookie, it can still damage your body. And
Oh,
so food as information is so powerful. You just got to heal the body first, take away everything, get yourself into maintenance, and then look and see where your body is, because then you can be more of a paleo type and see if that's where you want to be. For me, I
right.
had to tighten things up even more because I wanted better brain energy. And so everybody's going to be at a different stage, but just get started and see how we can reclaim your health so that you could live your life as health freedom, freedom to do what you want to do and to age beautifully and adventurously. So thank you so much, Donna, for coming on and sharing your story. I'm sure that's going to change somebody's life who hears this, because this is the life that you changed, and it's 95% less pain. 25 pounds down may not seem like a lot, but
It's a lot to
90%
me.
less pain. Yeah. And you got to
Yes.
remember all of that. You've got a brand new body and you got to go shopping. That's an amazing place to be.
Hmm.
So you've
It
done it. You've done
is.
a great job. And thank you for coming on and sharing this story with us today.
Well, I thank you, Lori, for all the
You're
time and
welcome.
all the commitment you give to me.
You're welcome. All right. Take care. Have a
Okay.
good day. All right.
All right.
Bye.
You too. Bye bye.